Hello and welcome, I'm Kellzz and I'm here to do some analysis on the first Cloud9 vs Unicorns of Love game from Intel Extreme Masters 2014. So let's get into it. So to start off with then, we're going to have a brief look at the comps to get a basic understanding of what each team's working with going into this. So we're starting with Cloud9 on your left. They have a comp that's suited for catching people out. So I'm talking Thresh hooks, Lee Sin kicks, Syndra and Lissandra stuns, all combined with Corki's burst to eliminate priority or generally out of position targets. They get their spike in the early to mid game and they'll be looking to apply pressure as such. Now on the flip side, you've got Unicorns of Love on your right. They have a very team fight and protect the carries focused comp. So here we're looking at the backline of Lucian and Lux with a little bit of Kayle in the middle for some added spice. They're protected by Braum as a peeler, Maokai as a frontline and Kellzz ult and heal combo for good measure. And into the game itself we get some lovely standard lanes. Looking forward with those team comps we just mentioned, as the game progresses we should be seeing C9 trying to out-rotate UOL and pick the favoured fights for them, with the Unicorns simply brute force walking in and taking the objectives that they want as a team of 5. Now there's a few scuffles here and there, but nothing major, until you see Meteos pulling off his trademark top lane gank, which eventually does pick up a kill for Bulls. But what you don't see is any answer from the Unicorns of Love. Now while Lux is extremely low on mana, they still have a numbers advantage that could have been turned towards Dragon, especially when you consider just how long Meteos is visible for in that top lane. But nonetheless, Lux recalls and returns to lane as everything resumes its original pace. The next notable move is made by C9 as they notice Lux has recalled and Kayle is in the very top of her jungle on her own. They take this chance and they move straight for Dragon, and as you can see there is nothing that UOL can do to answer for it, meaning it's literally raining free stat bonuses for C9 to pick up as they see fit. But Unicorns of Love decide they're tired of giving up freebies and they pick up the aggression, chunking Syndra and popping her ultimate, which does lead to a smooth blue buff steal for Lux. The Unicorns then loosely gather near mid lane as they know C9 will want to answer back with a blue buff steal of their own, and they're right as C9 answer back by grouping towards the UOL blue buff and picking up a kill on Lucian on the way. Now when the Unicorns see this, they shove mid tower while C9 stick to the blue buff that they came for, and they follow up by picking up a bot tower for themselves as well. Now while the gold may swing in the favour of C9 thanks to the kill on Lucian, the map control that they forfeit just by giving up the mid tower is much more damaging in the long run, so perhaps not the best trade that they make all game. But things only accelerate from there as Kayle and Braum rush down the river to trap C9's bot lane. However, Meteos is already at the tri-bush and Bulls wastes no time in teleporting down to secure a positive trade for the boys in blue. Notice how Lux was trying to make her way down for the save, but high on Syndra kept her rooted for the duration of the fight. But wait, there is more, as Lucian decides he's a darker version of Superman, strolls in 1v3 and gets wrecked in the process. There's over a minute left on Dragon's respawn, so most of C9 recall in preparation for the next clash as Maokai takes the top C9 tower. Upon returning to lane, C9 are sure to push out the top and bottom lanes ready for Dragon, as all 10 players group around the pit ready for the conflict. As predicted earlier, UOL walk up and start taking the Drake down immediately as they're the stronger team fighters, and this forces C9 to make a move, which they do as they sweep forward in a line. UOL respond by backing off into the jungle until Braum gets caught, and the fight is a constant mesh of engages and disengages as C9 don't want a team fight in this position. Now they poke as they kite away until UOL are low enough for the turn. Sneaky goes man mode and they push UOL back. But both teams are low and without junglers, so they each back off, throwing down wards when the coast is clear for the return to Dragon that will surely follow. There's another clash in the mid lane and elimination does eventually go down, but just below that fight you can see Bulls and Meteos have actually singled out Kayle, taking down the UOL jungler. On top of this, the Lux laser was just used in that fight, meaning that all hope of a steal is lost for the Unicorns, and C9 pick up an easy Dragon number 2. But UOL, knowing they can't contest the Dragon, rotate top as their minions are hitting the tier 2 turret. But instead of rushing to defend, C9 stick to their typical tactics by retaliating with a mid tower. Cloud9 push back the Unicorns in top lane, with Meteos looping round from his position in the mid lane to cut them off. As soon as they've pushed UOL back far enough, Bulls TPs to a ward, and the massacre commences, with Kale and Lux too far removed to assist their teammates. Now, as Lissandra pushes to tower in the top lane, Maokai is still proving a problem, so the C9 team move into the upper enemy jungle, preventing backup from arriving and forcing Maokai to abandon his turret. This avoided the need for grouping the Cloud9 team top, where they could be engaged upon in a team fight that they do not want. Lissandra takes the tower and they move up for the next tower. However, UOL take the safe route to defend it, and while C9 try to make a safe catch, they're not successful and they back off as a result. Maokai gets spotted on his own at the bottom of the map, and C9 collapse on him in the hope that he'll be down for the upcoming dragon fight. Now what this also does is gives UOL the opportunity to push down mid lane, so C9 can come up from the bottom of the map, push them towards Baron, then fall back themselves to Dragon and take that as that just spawned. This is without a doubt one of the best examples of what a rotation is. Cloud9 get overconfident with their 5v5 strength, and UOL finally get to use their team fight comp, deleting Corki and picking up mid tower as a reward. Unfortunately, they take their foot off the gas and fall back to collect blue buff when there's a fresh 5-man C9 squad alive. Seeing this lapse in judgment, Cloud9 rush Baron and take their new advantage straight to the Unicorns' front door. Cloud9 split push mid and bot, leaving 3 of their team in the adjoining jungle space. As soon as the UOL defenders arrive, they take the path of least tree, and 5-man push mid because Maokai is bot. They get the tower and they rotate bot, where they have Lee Sin and Lissandra move into the jungle alongside the tower, forcing UOL back as they're afraid of getting caught, gifting yet another tower over to Cloud9. They split push bot and mid again, this time hiding their 3 remaining guys in the top jungle. As soon as 2 defenders go bot, the remaining 4 push mid hard and pick up yet another tower. This is followed up by an amazing pick on Lux, which signals the final charge and the win for Cloud9. Now, as we discussed at the beginning of the video, the UOL comp was suited for team fights, and when they did get 5-on-5 team fights, they excelled. But unfortunately, these didn't come around often enough. The Cloud9 pick comp was used to its fullest. They avoided almost all the fights that were not tilted heavily in their favour, simply out-rotated the Unicorns of Love, and they deserve to pick up the win on this occasion. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching my video. If you have any feedback, positive, negative, constructive or otherwise, please feel free to let me know in a private message or in the comments. You can find me on Twitter at KellzLol, as it is on your screen at the moment. Please let me know what you did and didn't enjoy about today's show. Perhaps you'd like to see longer videos, maybe shorter ones, more in-depth on certain plays. Just let me know what there's demand for and I'll see that demand filled. Once again, thanks for tuning in, thanks for giving me the time of day, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode.